cursed luck. Well, well. Distinguished guests.
For the love of God. Does it have to be him?
Trust me, friend.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
We need to have a word with you.
Would your graces care to sit?
I think not.
What brings you to my humble rectory, gentlemen?
Are you all packed, Godwin? I heard you got kicked out of your humble rectory.
Your concern is really touching, Hanush. Did you come to see me off, or to help me do my laundry?
Watch your mouth, priest. You might end up losing more than your parish.
Easy, my friend. Don't let him get you all worked up.
I'd like to teach him a good lesson.
But that's not why we're here.
Bah!
Well, why are you here, then?
We have a secret mission for you.
Secret mission? Sir Radzig, I hope you're not trying to drag me into some state espionage game of yours. Somehow, over the years, I fell out of the habit of being inconspicuous.
You buffoon! Let his lordship finish!
Do you know about Lord Capon's mission?
Aye. I heard a word or two about that. Where was it you sent him? Trotsky?
Yes, to Sir Otto von Bergoff's castle.
Royal Chamberlain von Berger? The League of Lords fella?
You know more than I'd expect from you.
It doesn't surprise me. I also know that Trotsky is about 3 days' ride away.
2 days, weather permitting.
The young lord should have been back long since then, shouldn't he?
He should. But he's not.
Why did you come to me for this?
For Christ's sake, get your booze-soaked noggin working. Isn't it obvious? We need you to go to Trotsky and find out what's keeping him.
Why me?
Honestly, I'd like to know that too, Radzig. Why this fellow?
He has experience like few others. You know that, Hanush. And not just in combat. Although he might not look like it at the moment, he is from a noble family, so he knows how to deal with nobility.
What? You're saying this scoundrel in a cassock is blue-blooded?
It's true. And he also understands the common people. Since we don't know what's holding Capon up, we need someone who can deal with whoever he comes across.
I hope you're right. So what do you say, Godwin?
How could I say no after such words of praise?
Well, that went better than I expected.
Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. I won't rest until my nephew is safely back in Perkstein.
When should I go?
Right away.
Fuck! Did they have to lock us up in here of all places? I have a feeling these walls are moving. The cell is getting smaller and smaller. Can you hear me? Let me out! Hey! Hear me!
Give it a rest. No one's come in.
I feel like we're going to be crushed here.
Don't worry, we won't. Any crushing will be done later by the executioner.
Oh, what a relief to hear that. Listen here, Henry. I wanted to say, well, that I'm glad to see you again. Henry?
Sounds like the great Sir Hans Capon is getting ready to apologise. But why?
Well, because I'm just sorry, I suppose. And nevertheless, Henry, I wanted to say that, well, you were right. I behaved badly. Awfully.
All right. I accept your apology. All water under the bridge, eh? Old pal.
Thanks. So, what were you getting up to the whole time anyway?
I was working in the blacksmith's forge in Takov.
Oh, well, lucky for you, you have a trade you could work at.
Sort of. Most of the time I was actually chasing after lost carts or scrambling over the rocks looking for hermits.
Well, at least you weren't bored, eh?
What about you?
I also stuck to what I'm best at.
What, boozing and whoring?
Fucking ha. Hunting.
Where did you get the gear for that? We arrived in Troskowitz like a pair of beggars.
By using the old noggin, pal. I pulled a strong thread out of those rags I had on, made a snare for game, and before you could say jackrabbit, I was hawking half a dozen hares around the local cottages.
Weren't you worried about the local gamekeeper?
That nitwit! I found out he was fond of the booze, so I snooped around his lodge, and when sleeping it off, I went hunting. Once, I even went into his shed and, borrowed a bow and a quiver full of arrows.
Thieving, too, to top it all. Christ!
Oh, give over. Once things are sorted out, I'll give it all back. Shh, quiet! There's something going on outside the door.
Have you seen Captain Thomas? Yarrick says he's in a bad way.
He's right. Them fuckers cut him up good.
Last I heard from Father Nicodemus, though, was that his wounds are healing.
Aye. Only he's been struck down by a fever. And the Sawbones is away with Sir Otto.
Good God!
Captain Thomas! Yes! He met us before we reached the pond, didn't he? We showed him our letter.
But he's in a fever. You heard them.
Oh, we'll deal with that somehow. Hey!
Leave it be.
Hey! Open up, you rabble! We're messengers from Ratai. Your captain can confirm it. Do you hear?
Again?
Those damned fools won't give us any peace.
Come on, fellas! Be reasonable! We're envoys of the Lord of Lipa!
About time. Just you wait till Lord von Berghoff hears how you treat a noble.
You, come with me to the courtyard. Chamberlain says we ain't gonna waste bread on you for nothing. We've got a job for you.
What about me? I want to talk to the captain right now.
You want to talk to God, fella. You're getting the gallows for poaching.
What? But you can't hang a nobleman.
Jesus, wait! Hear that? That bell's tolling for you, mate. 12 more times, and the priest will come for you. Hans!
But you can't!
Hans, don't worry, I'll fix it! Move it!
I'm a nobleman! Do you hear me? I'm a noble! I'm Sir Hans Capon of Bergstein.
So, if you want to get out of here, you'll have to make amends and work off your debt. For a start, you can carry all the charcoal from this wagon up to the store.
Wait, though. What's going to happen with Capon?
With that madman? He was poaching, so he'll swing.
But he really is a noble.
Ain't you a bit old for fairy tales, son? Once the bell tolls for the 12th time, it won't matter a damn who he used to be anyway. If you want to do something for him, pray. And best pretend you don't know him.
Your Captain Thomas can testify that we're envoys from Ratai. It's the truth, I swear.
Don't you say a word about our captain. We don't know if the poor fellow will live to see morning. They moved him during the night to the chapel at the very top of the Maiden. It seems only God can help him now.
Why did they move your captain to the chapel? All that way up?
So he'd be closer to God. Either the good Lord will help him or take him to his bosom. The captain's in a really bad way. And our Sawbones is away with Lord von Bergov.
What about my things? You took everything away from me.
That's what happens to people in jail. When we set you free, you'll get your stuff back. In the worst case, we might keep something to cover the damages you caused at the wedding. Got it?
Got it. Do you always ring the bells before an execution?
Aye, it's a local custom. They say back in the past, the local lord slept through a scheduled execution, and they had to release the condemned man. Don't worry, that won't happen today.
And can I go there? I really have to talk with Captain Thomas.
Don't fucking annoy me, fella. You got off lightly so far, believe me.
What? You won't even let me pray in the chapel?
We will not. You're not allowed inside at all. And don't let me catch you snooping around there.
What happens when I'm done with this?
What do you reckon? You'll get another job. And when there's no more work for you, you can bugger off wherever you like.
That's all?
Aye? What'd you expect? The axe? Lord von Bergov is strict, but he ain't a tyrant. But poaching now, that's another matter.
I'll get to work then.
Good lad. The store's up by the gate to the inner bailey. Orsina the blacksmith is idling around somewhere there. He'll think up some job for you. Or go down to the outer bailey where they're building the scaffold near the gate. They'll be working up there for sure. And no wandering around where you're not allowed. Don't stick your nose inside the castle. Got it?
Yeah. Got it.
So I went to see my brother to talk about the inheritance.
But your father's still alive, isn't he?
Aye. But he drools all over himself, and he gets this feeling that his time is nearly up.
Does he get it often?
Nearly all the time. And he's always threatening to leave everything to the church if I don't go and see him.
Aye. Once old folks start getting soft in the head, it's bad news.
Exactly. Let me tell you, I got a damn but
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you. She might take offense.
I wasn't talking about her, of course. The bride's always the prettiest.
I've been at weddings where that wasn't the case. Unfortunately, but I heard it ended in a
There's a rabble running rampant over the countryside. He packed up that captain of ours.
Aye, that's bad. But there's always some rabble running.
You're not allowed in here, vagabond. If you want a bite to eat, go to the kitchen in the Cron. It's at the other end of the courtyard.
Well, I'm all ears, Master Philosopher.
it's clear as a bell.
Nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a...
What a waste of money. Didn't you hear that the king himself announced that everyone should have a good bow on hand? Which king would that be? I don't know exactly. But when the king commands, his subjects have to obey, don't they?
You didn't hear it from the trader who sold you the bow, by any chance?
Aye.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Let's hope the bar doesn't hear you. She might take offense.
So you're talking about someone you have no... What's it? No personal experience.
Well, best to drop it. I like my opinion about the bear He's got all sorts of worries. Sir Otto?
Wedding like.
It was nice. Good food. It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Let's hope the bar
Nothing
doesn't
escapes
hear
my
you.
eye, and Ulrich knows that. So he sometimes invites me for a chat about what's going on.
Call it what you like. Nobody likes snitches, nor brown nosers neither.
That's that.
Almost every time I'm there, I see him climbing up there.
I suppose he...
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith. A respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what. Go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that you don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
4.
Smart lad. We've got one horse. That's 4 times 1. But Kabat's already got 3. So that's 4 minus 3, which is...
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads, this here itinerary...
While we're on the subject,
That miserable blacksmith. Where is he now?
Damn, it's burning.
Where's that fool of a blacksmith? Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind. Where's that fool of a blacksmith?
Bloody hell. I'm overheating it.
He vanishes like the wind.
Merciful God, grant that our Captain Thomas may recover. I beg you, let his wounds be healed, and if you take him from this
Damn wretch!
welcome him in to your heavenly kingdom. Take him to your bosom, for he is a good Christian and a fine man.
Where's that fool of a blacksmith?
Sakra!
Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind. Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith? Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind.
Let his wounds be healed, and if you take him from his welcome him into your heavenly kingdom. Take him to your bosom, for he is a good Christian and a fine man.
The first bell. Another 11 to go.
Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith? forge. That miserable blacksmith, where is he now?
I've almost got it done.
That miserable blacksmith, where is he now?
Christ Jesus, who laid down his life for our sins, we beg you and the guardian angel to take care of your good servant. Thomas is a good Christian.
Where's that fool of a blacksmith?
If you're after some leftovers, the kitchen's up top. I don't think there's much there, though. And not a step further than the kitchen. For ages. I'll have to go on duty too. Where's the damn cooks?
I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here, or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can try and find something for you.
Haven't you got anything better to do?
Not really. Besides, I'm quite hungry myself.
Go and look then. There's some baths down below. There might be something there. I'd go myself, but if someone saw me there, I'd be in trouble. Ever since... well, never mind.
I'll figure it out somehow. I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey, I need some decent grub, not some mouldy bread.
If you don't want it, I won't force you. The second toll for Hans. Still hungry, are you?
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. Thanks. Well, at least I won't starve.
You're welcome. Enjoy it.
Fella?
Like the wind.
About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables, the grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait.
Wedding like?
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls.
Oi, Wojtek. Could you stop gabbing and come and help?
Can't you see I'm talking to someone?
I ain't seen you here. Are you new and all? Well, I'm Magda.
I'm Henry.
It's great to have some new lads here.
Oh, aye. Henry, how about you bugger off? I wouldn't want a repeat of our last disagreement.
It'd end up differently this time.
Are you also helping Wojtek's uncle?
What uncle?
Wojtek here said he's helping his uncle, Osina the blacksmith.
No. I'm not helping anyone's uncle. This is a punishment, just like with Wojtek here.
A punishment?
Aye. We got into a bit of a fight at Lord Samin's wedding.
What? Are you trying to make a fool of me?
Ah, that's not quite how it was.
You wretch.
Oh, thanks. You really are a cunt.
A cunt? While you're having fun chatting up girls, I'm hauling sacks. If anyone's a cunt, it's you.
Don't worry, I'll find you.
I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here, so either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you've still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Isn't there maybe something I could do for you in exchange?
Well, since you're offering, I lost something playing dice and I'd like to have it back. A very nice turquoise rosary.
Who did you lose it to?
Father Nicodemus. That priest rolls dice like the devil himself was guiding his hand.
Don't worry. I'll get it for you.
But with no trouble, all right?
Naturally. I'm Henry.
My name's Votava.
What are you here for?
Me? Nothing much. I tried to rob a house near Tahov. I was sleeping in the woods for a week and I wanted to get at least a slice of bread. Only instead of bread, I found a pitcher of mead. So, I says to hell with it and I pour the whole lot down my neck. Then I see the farmer has a nice comfy bed with an eider-down quilt. So I had a nap. I slept like a baby, and if the bailiff hadn't come for me, I'd be sleeping there still.
My word. That wasn't exactly an ingenious crime.
And what did you do?
I got into a brawl at young Lord Semin's wedding.
Fuck me. You brawl at a wedding that the cream of the whole region is attending, and you talk to me about ingenuity.
And what can they do to you?
What do I know? I've spent some time in the stocks. That wasn't too bad. It's worse in some places, and now I'll be hauling here for a while, and then I reckon they'll kick my ass out of the gate.
Sounds to me like it's not the first time for you.
My neck has graced half the stocks in Bohemia, and one or two in Moravia too. The worst are the new ones. They've still got splinters sticking out of them, and that ain't pleasant. Once in Rumburg, they had brand new pine stocks. That was fucking awful.
Do you know how I can slip inside the Maiden?
Aye, friend. That's what every fella would like to know.
What? Oh, no, I mean the Maiden Tower. I need something there.
You're a barrel of laughs, eh? Well, I hear there's a nice chapel at the top. But I don't know my way round here much. But if you hang around here long enough and make yourself useful, you can get to all sorts of places. Once in Sternberg, I even got to the Lord's privy, which I was supposed to clean.
I doubt you'd find much of value in a privy, eh?
As it happens, I found a nice book there. Of course, I can't read, but there was some pretty fun pictures in it.
It seems to me you know a thing or two about... well, a thing or two.
Aha! Does it show that much? Well, I'm not much of a one for making an honest living. Never was, actually. What do you need?
I need to get inside the castle, and it's likely I'll encounter some obstacles on the way.
Like locks, eh? I'll give you a piece of advice for nothing. I've kept myself alive stealing crusts of bread from commoners. If you want to rob the nobility, you might as well take a noose along with you for your own neck.
I'm not planning to steal anything. I just need to talk to someone.
Well, that sounds pretty odd. But you're in luck. There's a certain groom at the castle. Kabat, they call him. We did a job together near Yichin. He pretends he don't know me. But I remember him. He might have something for you.
Ah, right, Kabat. I had the honour of making his acquaintance.
See then.
I'll be going.
Sure.
Do you know where Captain Thomas is? I heard he was in a bad way.
It's true, son. It doesn't look good for him. Why do you ask?
I'd like to pray with him.
A kind thought, but you can't get to Thomas. I had him moved during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden.
Why can't I get there?
You know, the castle chapel is an important place. Only Lord von Berghoff, his kin, and a few others are allowed there.
Like you, for instance?
Naturally. It's certainly good of you to want to pray for Thomas, but you can do that anywhere without having to disturb him.
Why did you take him to the chapel?
The surgeon is away with Lord von Berghoff, and Thomas has got considerably worse. I don't like to say it, but there's nothing left but to pray for a miracle.
Uh-huh. I'll be going then.
Go, and don't forget about that prayer.
What if my soul is burdened with sin? Is there a way to cleanse it?
Of course, son. You can redeem yourself with an indulgence, or take the path of repentance and atone for your sins with a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not erase your crimes in the eyes of the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. And you, if I'm not mistaken, have a few, similar concerns. Come find me when you have atoned for your worldly sins.
It seems like you'd be glad to have someone to play with.
Alea jacta non est, my friend. The die has not been cast, and that grieves me. No one wants to play with me, so I'll be quite glad if you join me. And for what shall we play? You don't look too well off.
I heard you have a certain turquoise rosary.
Aye, it belonged to Kabat, although belonged is a strong word.
How do you mean?
Kabat is known for having some peculiar things in his property, if you grasp my meaning.
Hang on. You're saying you don't mind holding on to a stolen item?
And who should I give it back to? I doubt Kabat will tell me who he took it from. Besides, you've got to admit a rosary belongs in the hands of a servant of the Lord. It's safe with me. Once its owner turns up, I'll gladly give it back to him.
Or lose it in a game of dice. I wouldn't say it's very safe in your hands.
I'm a priest, not a saint. So what of it?
Let's play for it then.
Certainly, why not? As long as you put up a decent wager against it.
Maybe we better leave it for now. I don't have very much coin at the moment.
As you wish, friend. But if you should change your mind, I'll be glad to play.
The third toll. I'd better get moving. I have that rosary for you. It's very nice.
Great. Let's have a look.
Here you have it.
Good fella. Here's a bit of equipment for you in exchange. I don't suppose I'll be needing it again.
I could see where it leads to. Or I could drown. Ah, shit. Oh, this was a bad idea. But it seems I won't drown, at least.
And smile. I don't want to see any sour faces when his lordship returns. You'll be happy to see him home.
Hans! Are you there?
Henry! Is that you? You've got to get me the fuck out of here. They want to hang me.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's true. They're building a scaffold in the courtyard.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You've got to find that Captain Thomas, who can testify who we are.
I know, but they took him during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden Tower. They won't let me in there.
Jesus! Why do I have to have such rotten luck? Christ's wounds.
Don't blaspheme. A person in your shoes can't risk that.
It's all the same. How did you get in here anyway? Did they let you come and see me?
Not exactly. I shouldn't be here. And if they catch me, the game's up.
That's not good. There's a guard just around the corner watching the jail.
Can you try and distract him? I'll hide in the meanwhile.
Sneak into the torture chamber opposite. It's empty now, fortunately.
The fourth bell.
In the brewery at noon, it's merry as a tap room. Merrily the boys all gather, singing in the back room. Merrily the boys all gather, singing in the back room. And now the sun is lowered, it's to sleep until the morning. Jolly lads from all around to
Don't
Arno
piss
come.
me off. Shut your gob, you idiots. Hey. Do you hear me? Shut your mouth.
I was just singing to pass the time.
give a fuck. There'll be no singing here. This is a jail, not an alehouse.
And when that's all done, let the maids get stuck into cleaning, so you don't show me up in front of his lordship. And when that's all done, let the maids get stuck into cleaning, so you don't show me up in front of his lordship. And don't forget to light the fire in the main hall. It's as
Oh,
cold there as a
have
dungeon.
you been rolling
That
in
doesn't do
shit?
me any good. And make...
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! Ah! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
One vagabond isn't the same as another, sir. It can be hard to tell the difference between beggars and us students from Prague, but we have a bit of knowledge.
And what are you doing here? Prague is a long way off.
I'm here to gain experience. Our professors encouraged us to travel the world, but I ran out of coin and things went from bad to worse.
Mm-hmm. And where did you study?
Prague University, of course. So far, I've completed the Septem Artes Liberalis, and I'm getting ready for the Quadrivium.
Oh. Well, my nephew had some difficulties with arithmetic in the Quadrivium.
Oh, I understand. It's a difficult subject, and I'm a bit anxious about it myself. Nevertheless, although I don't have a degree in medicine, I have learned a few things.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Tell me, Master Chamberlain, is the pain like someone stabbing you in the belly, or more like pouring hot oil down your throat?
What kind of question is that? How should I know? No one ever stabbed me in the belly or poured hot oil down my throat. Obviously.
Aha. Good point. Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. I believe your stomach juices are out of balance, sir.
That's what the professor from Colin said. But what to do about it?
Well, unfortunately, I can't change the causes of your condition, but I can help you with its symptoms. I think some herbal potion for the stomach would bring you relief.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required remedy, but I could brew it. Only I don't have the apparatus for that. And also, I could use some medical literature.
Don't worry about that. Our surgeon is also often at a loss. I expect you'll find everything you need in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Oh!
And don't gobble everything up, fella.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I work here, genius.
The bell's ringing for Hans the 5th time. Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
You know I was locked up? Oh, for such an uncaring girl, your interest is a bit suspicious.
Right. I spend the whole day following you and the arrogant fool around, spying on you.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again.
I'm still not sure who you are.
Yeah, that would be because I haven't told you.
I need help.
Who doesn't? I still have to clean out all the fireplaces in the Crown. Do you know how many there are?
I don't know or care. I was sent here by the Chamberlain. He wants me to help him with his stomachache.
That slimy toad. If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
Because I could make plenty of trouble for you with the Chamberlain.
Uh-huh. And what would you tell him? That old deviant couldn't care less about anyone searching the surgeon's chambers. I wouldn't be the first or the last.
But he'd sure as hell care about how you talk about him. Deviant isn't a name that some lowly maid should be calling Lord von Bergov's right-hand man.
All right, all right. I get it.
Tell me what I need to know, and no one has to hear about it.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
The bell's ringing for Hans the 5th time.
Oh, what a stench. Where's it coming from?
The 6th bell. Half the time is up. Must have overboiled it.
I apologise.
The 7th bell.
That doesn't do me any good. Oh. God bless. What would you like?
Sir, about those health problems of yours.
Yes?
I've got something for you that could bring you relief.
About time. This? It looks suspicious. Are you sure it'll help?
Definitely. It will balance your humours, sir. Drink it for a month at least, in small doses, morning and evening.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! Without me, this place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but I have a question.
Yes? What is it?
I've always wanted to take a look at your chapel. I'm a great admirer of the master who painted the altar there.
Oh, go where you want. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you.
Ugh, what a stench. Where's it coming from? Huh?
Who stinks here?
Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days. And the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
Maybe I could help somehow?
The only one who can help now is the priest. And I don't want to sound gloomy, but all he can do is pray too. Just the same as me.
Where's the physician?
He's with Lord von Berghoff. When Thomas started to get feverish, he left some concoction for him. He was only meant to be gone for a while. But it seems they got stuck somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, the concoction ran out, and we don't have any other physician here.
I think I know what to give to Thomas. I just have to get hold of it.
You do?
But I'll need an apparatus and other stuff.
All those things should be in the surgeon's study in the Crone.
Great.
But no one is allowed there.
I'll figure it out somehow.
Why do you want to help us?
Well, unless Thomas recovers and testifies that me and my friend are messengers from Rattay, then my friend will be executed.
You mean that poacher who's to be hanged?
He's a noble. Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. The whole thing is one big misunderstanding. And only Thomas can sort it out.
I'm a bit bewildered by all this. But all right.
The main thing is, I want Thomas to live too.
Yes, you're right.
I'll get going then. I don't have much time, and neither does Thomas.
Go. And thank you.
It's the 8th bell. I need to hurry.
Aren't you supposed to be helping out?
Jesus Christ, I can smell
My God, this is killing me.
Ugh.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
It will have to be diluted. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
urge you all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug. The worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Rattay.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Open the gates!
My lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now,
You tell me what happened here in Herrgott's Namen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it? Well, it was somewhat unexpected. I must say, it was the first time I had a noose around my neck, and it wasn't the most pleasant experience.
Please, accept my apologies, sir. And that of my chamberlain, too. Is that not so, Ulrich? I must say in his defense that he had my orders not to admit anyone to the castle, and to be cautious.
I understand, sir. At home, some bandits got into Tamberg by subterfuge, and it cost us a lot of effort to reconquer it.
I'm glad you understand. Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest that, sir. We are merely interested in whether you would sit down at the negotiating table with us. It's necessary to discuss the future of the kingdom, whether it's to be a common one or not.
The future is still a long way off for me, Lord Capon. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzig are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy, so we have common interests too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine, and it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Ulrich here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. Furthermore, his lordship has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, and naturally your equipment shall be returned to you. Gentlemen, follow me. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
Please excuse him. He's been through a lot, as I'm sure you understand.
It is understandable, of course. I was just hoping that our relationship would be a bit warmer after that, regrettable misunderstanding. Nevertheless, welcome to Trusky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumour has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost.
You silly doggy.
The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
All too well, thanks.
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
Mert! Where have you got to now?